Alright. Calling it now. Ulrich rightfully has probably been feeling underappreciated lately. And I think right now, as of right now, he's like, well, I'm just gonna leave Cyrus to her own devices, because if she can't protect herself, then she wasn't as great as everybody thought she was. Right, Elt? Bleh. But then, right before she gets jumped, she's gonna be like, here, Ulrich, I bought you some candy as a token of appreciation to say how sorry I am. If I had realized, I would have hurried him along. And then he'll walk away and be like, Baka, I don't care about this. But now I can't leave her to get jumped, because she cares, and now I care. Aw, man. Then he'll save her. That's what I'm hoping happens anyway, so let's see. Don't let me down, green-haired boy. Is it morning already? I had the day off, though. I resolved to rise early anyway, knowing that sleeping in would just make getting up the next day more difficult. I opened the closet and took out my clothes. I got used to these clothes a lot more quickly than I expected. Except for how short the skirt is. I wonder if there's a way to make it longer without Elkreed noticing. I couldn't sew, so I was stumped. I had always left sewing to my servants in the Heights. Perhaps I should have learned at least some of these household skills. Alright, all done. I looked at myself in the mirror and adjusted the collar. Then I left my room to eat breakfast. Good morning. Huh? When I left my room, Elkreed was nowhere to be seen. Did he leave already? I couldn't see Ulrich or any of the servants either. I guess this is breakfast. A letter was wedged between the different plates of bread. I opened it. Please eat to your heart's content and enjoy your day. Elkreed. That's like him. I put the letter back and chose bread from the plates. I picked Danish, chocolate bread, and bread with jam with black tea for my drink. I carried my breakfast over to the table. It's so rare for me to eat alone. Since I came to Libra Elitis, I had almost always eaten with Elkreed. Sometimes even Ulrich ate with us. Listening to them as they talked was a quiet pleasure of mine during meals. This room is so large, I feel a little forlorn. Ulrich had been alone there the day before. I wondered how he had felt waiting for Elkreed. Of course, I couldn't look into his heart, but he must have hurt. Perhaps he's fine with being alone. I don't even know what he does all day long. I knew that he had informants and kept tabs on things, but what did that mean exactly? Elkreed gave him a variety of odd jobs, but I suspected that most of them weren't his true forte. I don't think he'd tell me. I hope I'll find out, though. You just might, girl. After breakfast, I decided to go into the city. There was a simple reason behind my decision. I hated being cooped up in my room. I want to do something. I can go along the main road for a while and then go back. I'll be in the perfect spot for someone to come and kidnap me. Oh look, a foggy alleyway. Perfect. I should investigate. Apparently, my time with Elkreed had made me somewhat famous. The people I passed all stared at me. I didn't like it, but there was nothing I could do. I suppose this will suffice. I'll go back now. I thought I heard sobbing and turned around. Did I imagine that? I listened. Yes, a child is crying somewhere in this crowd. I navigated the ocean of people, trying to find the sobbing among the cacophony. Oh, there! maybe he was lost. He was standing amid the crowd, completely ignored by it. I looked around. Nobody looked like his guardian or relatives, and none of them paid him any mind. If he's lost, then I can't help him. I don't know the area. Still, my training as a police officer kicked in. I couldn't ignore him. I decided to ask him what had happened. Hey there. Don't be scared. I'm harmless. That doesn't sound harmless, does it? I leaned down to seem less imposing to him. Are you lost?
Yes. Mom and Dad were gone suddenly. I want to go home, but the only way I know has scary people, so I can't go there.
I knew you were going to be a lure. The road is dangerous, huh? I didn't know the back alleys well at all. This made me uneasy, but I couldn't leave him alone. If he knows the way, then all I have to do is protect him. You've been bamboozled, girl. Okay, I'll escort you there.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll get you home. It's gonna be the first one to pull a knife on you, girl. Don't trust them! Are we going through here?
Yes. Are you scared, lady?
Of course not. This is nothing. It's day. As long as I don't let my guard down, I'll be fine. I walked with the boy through the back alleys. This is where the man from the heights was beaten up, I think. I looked at the spot. His corpse and every trace of it was gone. There was nothing left to tell of it, but I knew someone had lost his life there. And all that simply because he was born in the heights. They might attack me too. I have to be careful. I held the boy's hand with my left as he led me ahead. My right was on the sword grip. You don't find this suspicious at all? No? Not even a little bit? Not even a smidgen? Okay. He led me towards the tunnels ever further.
This is the way home.
Through here? The architecture was the same as in the tunnel that connected the sanctuary district and the depths. Water flowed by next to me, and the walls were made of earth and stone. No light entered from outside. The boy looks ordinary, not like a beggar. Why would he go here and not use the surface roads? And why does he seem so calm now? Surely my presence isn't that soothing.
Oh!
Suddenly the boy shook off my hand and ran ahead. Hey! Where are you going? He didn't answer. I looked ahead and saw him running towards a bright light and a long shadow on the ground. Is a person there? I assumed it was a relative of his.
Good job, boy. Go eat something nice with this.
Whoa!
He gave him a reward. For what? For leading you into a trap. I slowly walked towards the light, hand on my sword grip. Who's there?
Me. We've got business with you.
We? I suddenly heard a lot of footsteps. They were behind me and in front of me. I was surrounded. Should I assume the worst?
We ain't gonna do nothing if you let us take you quietly, alright?
What a pitiful lie. Like I would surrender to you. There are fewer in front of me, but I have to go back if I want to escape. She's so calm under pressure. I drew my sword and spun around. There are 4 people behind me. No, more back there. The man in front of me, thankfully, wasn't carrying a gun, but only a pipe. That's no match for me. Ah! That was one of them down. The other men screamed in fear as I cut the first one down and shrunk away. Those 2 are next. I jumped over one of the men on the ground, putting my weight into a slash against the next prey.
Ah!
You bitch!
Another man swung an iron pipe at me. Ha! I shifted my weight backwards, dodging his swing, and kicked him into the water. Alright, almost through.
That's as far as you'll go, girl.
What? Before I could turn around, I was slammed against the wall and held there.
You're a violent one, aren't ya? Gotta punish that.
The man hit a brick on the wall, and suddenly I fell backwards into nothingness. I had been cast into a dark chasm. Whoa! I landed with my back on something surprisingly soft. What's this? It was very dark. I could hardly see anything. There was only a faint light above.
We'll be back for you later. Think about what you've done now.
Wait! He closed the door and I was in perfect darkness. This place is so dark, I can't see anything. But I'd smelled air like this before. It was a little like rotten garbage, rotten eggs, or rotten meat. It wasn't a smell that was easy to forget. It clung to the skin and to the mind. Yeah, I was wondering if it was like a pile of corpses. Well, it is. This is the smell of corpses. Then what did I land on? The soft mass underneath me. Please don't show me anything. Oh, good. ULRIK, this is your mess. Get me out of here. Maybe I don't even have to get you candy to get you to get me out of here. What a time to sleep, man. I need help.
I was sleeping inside Rafala's base when footsteps woke me up. They were approaching fast. It was probably Vice and the others. I just got back from the Sanctuary District. Can't they let me sleep? I turned around on my improvised bed of blankets and sheets. Hey, ULRIK! Didn't think we'd run into you here this time of the day. I didn't think I'd run into you here, Vice. Can't you shut up? I got up and steadied myself. I just got back from work. Trying to sleep. If you're going to be here, I'll have to leave. What happened to you? You look like you jumped into the mud. Some of the guys are injured. We got to the woman you told us about, and look what happened. She a demon or something? The woman? Oh, Cyrus. She's a knight, not a demon. But I guess that doesn't matter. At least Vice and the others didn't get her. She's a bodyguard after all. They won't get her that easily. It was a stupid idea to try her luck anyway. I told you she was good with a sword. Better leave her alone now. Ha ha ha. You think we won't touch her after this? What do you mean? We threw her into the poison jar. I bet she's crying her eyes out right now. Ha 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 ha. The poison jar. The poison jar. It was a hidden room filled with corpses in the tunnels. It had been built some decades earlier during a time of strife. I didn't know who had built it. It was dark and deep and impossible to open from the inside. Sometimes people were kidnapped and tossed into it to starve to death as well. Either way, using it was pretty shitty. Judging from his reaction, she's probably still alive. I yawned and stood up. Oh man. Give me a look at that wound. I'll bandage it. I removed the first aid bandages and lifted the glistening cut. It's quite deep. She didn't hold back, did she? Well, that was natural when you were being attacked. This only happened because of me. Alta's going to be super mad if he catches wind of this. I gotta do something.
I must admit, I'm impressed at his calmness. Like, he didn't make it apparent that he was perturbed in any way. He was just like, yeah, you want me to patch that wound for you there, boy. And meanwhile, the gears are just turning like, crap, I gotta get her out of there. My back stung with pain, but that was minor compared to everything else. I'd been shoved into this black world bereft of light. I could tell I was surrounded by walls, but not the size of the room. I had to breathe through my mouth to avoid the stench. The only sound in the darkness was my own breathing. I considered the situation. Why did they attack me? The boy had led me to them. But what's their motivation? Was it because I was from the Heights? He said they'd be back for me. Why didn't they try to kill me? I didn't know. What I did know, though, was that I wouldn't get out anytime soon. Letting down my guard simply because he was a child was foolish of me. What's the point in having a sword if I'm so naive? Ugh! I breathed in through my nose without thinking, and the stench assaulted me. My eyes teared up. It was getting harder to breathe. The smell reminds me of that time. It had been a very cloudy day. What time? It looks like rain. Finn and I had become rank 1 officers only 3 months earlier. Oh no, not the other green-haired boy again. We were patrolling the city. Yeah. Should we find umbrellas? Only if there's a heavy downpour. Let's hope that doesn't happen. All right. It's yet another peaceful day. I doubt anything at all is going to happen. That's a weird way of phrasing it. Do you want something to happen? No, of course not. I'm just surprised by how peaceful police work really is. Peaceful? Yes. I thought we would be investigating crimes and squaring off against criminals every day. Huh. I didn't take you for the type to join the force seeking carnage. I didn't. I'm normal. If anything, I'm a pacifist. I'm just kidding. You don't strike me as the violent sort. Besides, I know what you mean. Before I joined the police, I thought every day would be a battle against society's evil underbelly. Apparently, rank 2 and 3 officers can have themselves assigned to such investigations, but our job at rank 1 is just patrolling the city. But I like this work. Walking around the city is nice exercise. Yeah, I think so too. Just make sure you pay attention to what's happening around you. What's that commotion over there? Let's go, Finn. There's a crowd here. Sorry, coming through. We squeezed our way through the crowd towards the center. There's a man lying on the ground. An assault? No. There's so much blood. I carefully approached the man and shook him. Excuse me, are you all right? He's not moving. Besides, I checked his pulse. He had no pulse, and his skin was cold. He's dead. Dead? A murder in broad daylight? Looks like it. What do we do now? My training was supposed to have taught me what to do next. But it was my first real crime scene, and I was a little overwhelmed. This is frustrating. I can't think clearly. I knew I had to respond calmly, but the unruly crowd made it even more difficult to concentrate. Hey, Finn. Finn, are you okay? You look pale.
The corpse. I feel...
Are you going to throw up? Wait! I have a lost articles bag here. Try to hold it in. Finn was holding his mouth with teary eyes as I searched my bag. There! Throw up into this! That was close. I looked at Finn and sighed. A bitter smell began to spread through the air, but the corpse and the ground were uncontaminated. And I feel a lot more calm now. I will cordon off the crime scene. Finn, go and call for backup.
No. I will stay here. I don't mind the corpse.
You're almost crying. Just go. Finn nodded meekly and ran away towards the temple. I looked after him and positioned myself in front of the corpse so that the scene wouldn't be disturbed. The crowd was still swelling, trying to get a look at the corpse. It all seemed tasteless to me. I wonder if the criminal is among them. I wanted to arrest them. However, Rank 1 police officers weren't part of criminal investigations unless they caught someone in the act. Being a Rank 1 officer is peaceful, but sometimes something like this happens. How often, I wonder, will I see someone's murdered remains? I didn't want to be accustomed to the sight of death, but I had to be. I saw several corpses after that. The dead don't move. They can't hurt me. As long as they're not zombies, anyway. I struck the wall with my sword, making an indentation, and started walking. Eventually, I felt the mark under my hand again. The room was round. I guess I'm not getting out. I leaned against the wall and held my sword to my chest. Was someone going to come? Probably not. Even if someone was going to come, they might not be a friend. Still, I hope someone frees me. I heard a strange noise above. Buddy? Pal? When I looked up, I saw light around a shadow looking down at me. Oh, it's good to see you. ULRIK.
Yeah, it's me. This stinks so bad. God, what are you doing here? Hide and seek?
Of course not.
Tell me later. There should be iron rungs or something on the wall. Can you find them?
You little... Ooh. You know exactly why she's here, and you're just like, oh yeah, I decided to open this up for the heck of it. You can tell me later. Don't question how I knew you were here. Ah, you baka. Iron rungs. Oh, I found the iron rungs set into the wall. They were too high to find in the dark. I can jump up to grab them.
Find them? Use that to climb as far as you can. Hurry up, I hate this stink.
Well, keep your pants on. I've had to breathe it in for like hours. Don't rush me. I'm walking over corpses here. Oh, the sound. I felt their rotting flesh under my soles. I felt sorry for stepping on them and revolted at the sensation of it. Every step I took over their remains was soul-crushing. Ha! I jumped as high as I could. Okay, I've got it. I'll climb now. I hauled myself up the rungs toward safety. Oh. Wow, offering me a hand. Who are you and what have you done with ULRIK?
Hold out your hand. I'll pull you up.
Can you do that?
You mean in terms of strength? I don't know. Let's hope you're light enough to pull up by one hand. If you're too heavy, I'll drop you back down. Better help me or you're back in there. And up! Wow. Looks like we got you out somehow. You're too heavy, honestly. Thought my arm would rip off.
Well, maybe if you ate your carrots and your pasta like Elk keeps telling you to, this wouldn't have been such a big ordeal. What do you think about that, Ulrich?
It damn well should have. That was scary.
I mean, the only thing you can say in the situation, bad attitude and all. Yeah, I figured. That's pretty rude, considering the situation. Still, I was glad to be out of danger. I gave Ulrich a broad smile. Thank you for saving me, Ulrich.
Sure. Why are you smiling? That's creepy.
I'm smiling because of you. I didn't think someone would get me out. I thought I'd be stuck down there. I'm really happy you came.
Cool. Bit of an exaggeration if you ask me, but you can do whatever you want.
I have to wonder, though. How did you know I was there? Okay, I like I really do like our girl. She was tough. She tried to fight her way out. She got a few hits in. She didn't panic when she was alone in the dark. She was like... and now she's thinking about, like, wait a minute, how did you even know I was in there? I wasn't there that long. It's not like Elt could have sent you to find me because I was missing.
It's my job to know. Knowledge is what I do. There's nothing I don't know.
I see. That's pretty amazing. What is that room back there? Why does it have so many corpses?
We dumped corpses there. It was used a lot more in the past, and there were a bunch of others like it. The stink was intense, right? Delicate people faint from it, so we call it the poison jar.
Poison jar? That's dreadful. I shiver to think what would have happened if you hadn't come.
Okay. Stand up now. We have to get going.
Right. I'm more than ready to be away from this place. I took his hand to stand up, and we left. I can't believe I let myself get thrown in there.
Let's go back to the mansion. You can't go anywhere looking like that.
Right. Good idea. Also should bathe, probably. Sorry about this, Ulrich.
It's fine. You're Elt's bodyguard. Since we know each other a little, I got a whim to save you. Don't think I'll always do things like this. Next time you're on your own.
Uh-huh, sure. Yeah, I know. I'm glad I trusted you.
Trusted?
Yeah. Didn't I tell you? It doesn't matter how much you hate me, I'll trust you. I assume you still hate me, but since I had faith in you, you saved me. I think. I'm glad I know you, Ulrich.
I don't think you understand me. I'm not as good a person as you think I am.
Is that my fault? You keep so many secrets, especially from me. All I can rely on are my own instincts, and they're telling me to trust you.
Right. Don't blame me if I betray you one day.
A little late for that, isn't it? Ulrich suddenly averted his gaze. Why does he get so embarrassed sometimes? I turned away from him to grin at his behavior. A strange group had thrown me into a darkness filled with corpses, and I was determined to see a consequence other than my new horrific memories. I vowed to expose the culprits and their motives. Ooh. I approve of this revenge plan. Do go on. I'd left the mansion in the morning. It was nightfall when I returned. I guess I spent a long time in the poison jar. My stomach grumbled with hunger when I realized how late it was.
All right, this is it for me.
You're not coming in, Ulrich.
No, I have something to do. Bye.
Ulrich nodded again and left in a hurry. Huh. He's a busy man. I was glad he had found the time to save me in spite of that. I resolved to thank him again. Where were you until You're so dirty. What happened to you? Elkreed. It doesn't look like you stumbled and fell on the road. Tell me about it. I don't want him to worry unnecessarily. Then again, not telling him would only make him more curious. I nodded at him and began to explain the events of the day. This morning I found a boy crying in the street. He told me he had gotten separated from his parents and the way home was unsafe. I decided to accompany him home. It was a trap, and men I didn't know attacked me. Men you didn't know? Yes. I fought them, but there were too many. When I had my guard down, they shoved me into the poison jar. Poison jar? How do you know that term? Do the Heights have them too? No, ULRIK told me its name. He pulled me out of the poison jar. ULRIK? Where is he now? I don't know. He left to do something just moments ago. I'm dismayed that despite being hired to protect you, I couldn't protect myself. I'm truly sorry. It's all right. The circumstances seem to have been unusual. Don't worry about it. But I have to. I need to. I'm ashamed to think of what would have happened had you been there. I need to train more so that this won't happen again. I see. Ambition is a beautiful thing. Thank you. But first you need to change. And you must be exhausted, so rest for a day. Thank you. What about you, Elkreed? I'm going out. I won't need protection. Someone else will guard me. I want you to take care of yourself right now. I think Elt knows. I think Elt's like, squint. I'm about to punch a green-haired boy in the face. A couple times. Okay. There he goes. He'd said someone else would guard him. Having been hired specifically to guard him, the ease with which he was able to find another guard made me unhappy. He's not gonna need a guard where he's going. ULRIK might, though. Well, it's because I failed. I have to harden my heart and body. I washed myself, changed into new clothes, and went to my room. My skin still smelled faintly of death, but I decided to ignore it, knowing it would disappear eventually. That was pretty horrible. But I have to remember. I sat down on my bed and thought about the battle. It went so well at first. They were far less skilled than I was and unused to close combat. Should I have cut them all down? No, that would have only opened me up even more behind me. The same thing would have happened. Opened me up behind me. Right. I learned how to fight with a partner. Oh, interesting. Good point. As police officers, Finn and I had always acted in concert. Finn had my back and I had his. I was too accustomed to that fighting style. Without Finn here, I need to learn how to fight alone. I need to figure out how to protect myself. I need to make sure my back isn't unprotected. I'll need to pay more attention to my surroundings and make sure I'm not cornered. Also, kinda want to see you get punched in the face for getting my girl in trouble. I know you saved her, but you still blabbed your mouth where you shouldn't have. This is all your fault.
Normally, my diet was unbalanced. I mostly ate sweets and fruits. I blamed that for my lack of hunger. I had hardly eaten from the food they'd made me. I had to eat, though. Much work lay ahead. Still, my body refused to put the food into my mouth.
Yeah, how's that guilt treating you?
I want to eat, but I can't move to do it. What now, then?
If you're not eating that, I will.
Alt! Alt sat down across me. He never asked for permission.
Didn't your parents tell you that you're not supposed to order food you can't finish?
Alt smiled and began to retrieve bits and pieces from my plate. They didn't. I was poor and didn't eat at fancy places like this one. You don't normally leave the house so late at night.
I don't. I have guards outside, though. Alas, not my night. It seems that she was tired, so someone else is accompanying me.
I see.
Yeah, I'm like, he's giving you an opportunity to explain. It's like, yeah, she seemed kind of tired. Strange. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, eh?
His behavior and way of talking meant that Alt probably knew what had happened. I didn't know how much he knew, though. I drank from my glass, careful not to seem perturbed.
I know most of what happened today from Cyrus. Thank you for rescuing her.
You're thanking me? Why? You her guardian or something?
No, I'm not. But I'm her employer, and it behooves me to come here to thank you for preventing her loss. However, we both know further gratitude is in order.
Alt was a truly inscrutable person. One moment he could be bright and carefree, and the next cold as ice. And this, in turn, might be followed by a series of jokes. He could be at times easy and hard to understand.
I'm like,
I'll ask outright. Where did the information come from?
The information?
Yes. You knew she was in the poison jar. Who told you? I owe them thanks as well.
Oh. Don't worry about it. I had it from some beggars and paid them out of my own pocket.
I see. Then I want to know who attacked her. How much information do you have?
None. I chose to bring her back first. I haven't looked into the men yet.
I see. Please do that then.
Look into them.
Yes. First they attack her, and next they might attack me. It seems natural that I want to protect myself. Normally you accept all my requests without challenge. Why do you ask that?
I was wondering why you care so much about her is all.
The reason for that is...
Never mind. I know all about that. But I just don't understand. You don't love her, right? A knight from the heights, trained in the sword. I know that she's a rare toy, but you'll just get tired of her eventually.
I thought so too. But she can be an interesting kind of person. You should try talking to her.
Interesting, huh? I think I've heard that before. I knew the concept of interesting objects. I liked reading, and I enjoyed reading interesting books. But I'd never met an interesting person. I was unable to trust other people. I'd been betrayed and left behind by the dead too often. Dealing with others was a waste of time. I couldn't understand what Alt meant when he said she was interesting. The effort he put into others was mystifying to me. Why am I so uncomfortable and upset right now? Is it because he's talking about something I don't understand? Or is it because he's showing interest in her?
What's wrong? You're being very quiet. You'll need to eat if you want to grow.
If I eat this late, I'll just grow horizontally. Bye. I left the restaurant and sighed. As Elt had said, there were multiple men outside to provide protection for him. Did he bring all these men just to ask me to investigate the attack? Is this a sign of how important she is to him or something? I also saved her because... No, screw that. I don't care about her. Even Elt is basically a stranger to me, no matter how far we go back. I don't care.
Sha-la-la-la, my oh my, look like that boy too shy. Come on, Ulrich. Admit it. Say you're in love.
I don't care about anybody.
Boy, don't be proud. It's okay, you're in love.